Let's introduce, I'm going to ask Lorraine to introduce Nancy K. Turner. Lorraine?
I'm unmuting myself. Hi, everybody. We're happy to have Nancy with us today. And I'm just going to read a little bit about her from the newsletter. Nancy K. Turner is a visual artist, art critic, and founder of the art collective Hana Kark. She was born in the Bronx and then is now in the Sunshine in California. Lucky her, because I'm not. I'm in Philadelphia in the gloom. A graduate of Queens College and the University of California at Berkeley and the Skowhegan School of Painting and Sculpture. Also studied painting with Elmer Bischoff, Peter Saul and R.B. KItaj. She's written critical reviews for ARTWEEK, ARTSCENE, Visions Magazine, Coagula Curatorial, Riot Material, Art and Cake, which I love, and Cultural Weekly. And her work has been shown in local, national, and international and traveling exhibits. Welcome, Nancy. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Okie dokie. So I hope this will work. I'm going to share my screen and try to go to a short video that LA Documents made, which covers, my practice and my process. So let's keep our fingers crossed here. Well, this says share, but okay, here we go. And I'll do full screen. Hope it works.
Good.
Well, I don't hear anything.
You need to start it at the beginning.
So
you see that line at the lower.
Yeah, you need to push the line over.
Yeah, move that line.
Okay,
No.
We're good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Sorry for that.
When I was 9 years old, I had a red skirt and I got ink on it, India ink. And India ink does not come out of clothes. So my mother didn't make a big deal about it. She took something, I don't sew, but she took something, it's kind of called racking, I think, and she wrote my name over the black India ink. So it's ruined, and she made it into something quite beautiful. And being the emergent. And I feel that my work is about that, is looking for what is emerging out of the work and cultivating it. And so I don't come to the work with a preconceived idea. I don't know what it's going to look like. Even though I use collage elements, I don't consider myself a collage artist. I consider myself a mixed media artist because I don't just use printed material and the work isn't normally flat. My work deals with the intersection of memory, identity, and I love the way time alters materials. I often embed narratives in my work. In the 90s, I worked with tar, lap cement, which coagulated. I like to incorporate chance. I always say that chance and randomness are my unpaid studio assistants. And I also often incorporate accidents into my work because once you acknowledge an accident, then it's no longer an accident, it's intentional. And part of actually my work has to do with the fact that I lived in an apartment, we didn't have an attic, we didn't have a basement, my mother threw everything out. And we had no documents of our history at all. And it was a different world. So I had one set of grandparents, but I realized they did speak English, but we never had a conversation with them. We never said, what was it like in Russia? How was it growing up? How old were you when you came here? We never thought to ask them those questions. We never had those conversations. And I never thought about it until I went to Berkeley. And I remember I met somebody who, for some reason, had a family Bible, like an old family Bible, and he opened it up and he showed me it had all the births and deaths of his ancestors. And I thought that was fabulous. And I felt like, wow, I don't have that. We don't have that. And so in a way, I feel like I've been looking for my ancestors in thrift stores ever since and finding other people's materials. And I've been a repository for those kinds of materials. Once people realize that I like that I have a use for it, a lot of people have materials that they don't want to trash, they don't want to throw away, but they're not museum quality and they can't leave it to anybody. So I become the inheritor of this material. And I came up with the concept of saving remnants, because in a sense, I'm saving remnants with these bits and pieces of letters and photographs and pins and all kinds of things that people save that are meaningful to them. And yet also Saving Remnants was a religious group. It has a biblical implication as well. I have a penchant for paper and a penchant for fragments. And I thought about, why do I like fragments so much? And then I thought, I grew up in New York, and one of the places we used to go was the Metropolitan. And we used to go to the Egyptian section, which was fabulous. It had like a temple. But I think the thing that I noticed most is they would have this little tiny fragment, and it would be on a pin, and then they would build the whole story. They would show you what that wall looked like, even though they had something that was maybe the size of a political button. And they would construct the whole story because of their research. I was at a party and an actor asked me what I did, and I explained that my work had to do with memory and that I used found materials, documents, and photographs that didn't belong to me, and that I worked them into my mixed media pieces. And his face lit up. Well, he said, "Would you be interested in tintypes?" And I was like, "Yes, I would." And he said, "Well, my neighbor passed away and he gave me all these boxes and I don't know what to do with them." He sent a friend over and these boxes kept on arriving. And I opened it up and I thought, wow, you know, there are all these letters. Somebody in their family was a marvelous archivist, because a lot of times I use these materials and it's almost as if my unconscious or subconscious picks the materials. So I don't really, I know they're old, but I'm not really thinking about that particular date. And with the book that I just did, I started looking up the dates that were in the material I was using. And I found that it was amazing to see what happened on the day of the date, like what happened on August 3rd, 1891. And then you look it up and you'll see it's wars and blizzards, and it just seems like it's yesterday. It's the same kind of things that we're having now, except we're not having blizzards, we're having floods, and we're having wildfires. But, you know, it's the same catastrophes. There's 1893, there was a recession, a depression, which I didn't remember. And so it's connected me to my past. So I feel that my work collapses time and collapses history. That history is really cyclical, and you know, everything that's happened, kind of, you feel like it's happened before and it'll happen again. And I feel like my studio is some kind of mysterious space, even though, you know, it sounds very California woo-woo. I feel like when I close the door, things arrange themselves differently, like Toy Story. You know, documents and letters that want to be in a piece pop up out of a pile. I once had an artist come to my studio who looked around. He was a painter, and he looked around and he went, "Oh, I see. The meaning in your work comes from the materials." And for me, that was a revelation. That was about 20 years ago, but I thought that's true. And so I don't really have problems starting, because I can just go to any surface in my studio and there's a piece that needs to be worked on. I think I have a profound connection with materials, and for me, there are embedded narratives in those materials. And so a lot of times the actual pieces I'm creating are what I like to call archaeology of the soul.
Okay, so next I actually have, can everybody see this? Oh,
No, we just see you.
you can't?
No.
We need for you to share screen again.
LA art documents tour
Okay,
exploring
I
diverse
see.
contemporary artistic and cultural institutions.
Oh, wait a second.
This video is dedicated to examining the Hammer
Yeah.
Museum's biennial exhibition, Made in LA 2023, Acts
I
of
don't know
Living.
what that is. I'm gonna
The
pause
Hammer's
that.
mission for this anticipated event highlights the practices of 39 unique
Wait,
artists and
stop
collectives
share.
working throughout the greater Los Angeles region that embrace the value of craft, materiality, performance, and collectivity.
Let me.
For this 6th iteration year, the
Sorry about
organizers took
that.
a
I
directive
don't know how
approach from a
to-
quote by renowned Los Angeles
think
artist Noah Purifoy.
I don't know how
One
to
does
get
not
out of
have
that.
to be a visual artist to utilize
Okay,
creative
one
potential.
of your videos
Creativity
is
can
running
be an
now.
act of living, a
If
way
you
of
could
life,
pause
and a
it.
formula for doing the right thing.
Let
Be
me.
sure to subscribe to LA Art Documents
on
to
a
be
second.
informed of all our videos when they arrive. Now enjoy this extended tour of Hammer
Sorry.
Museum's Made in LA 2023,
Oh, man.
Acts of Living.
Let me check out and come back in. Oh,
You're running a video right now. Could you click on that and pause it?
I don't see where I am. Let me check out because I hear. Let me leave and come back in.
Okay.
Sorry.
To be continued. Jennifer, you're really good with helping out. If she gets stuck again, you want to chime in?
It's a real problem. You have to have everything you want to show on your desktop.
Yeah.
And if you haven't properly turned off one video, it will continue to run in the background, basically. So I think what she's doing is probably the simplest, since that's what
Right.
Nancy's familiar
Start all
with.
over.
Yeah. But I think whoever is hosting can also control the speakers. Is she on as co-host? Is Nancy on as co-host?
No, she isn't. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that I can control her screen.
Yes, I think you can. I, just give lectures using PowerPoint, but have had similar problems. But I know that a proper host has been able to control it. But I'm certainly don't have expertise in that. But hopefully she can figure that out.
Okay.
Can you
she's
see
back.
me?
Yeah, we can see you.
Okay, so let me try screen share. So sorry. Share. Let me go to
You got to,
the
yeah,
archaeology. Can you see that?
yes. And then you want to
Okay.
go to full screen. So you need to click on
Yes.
the icon that looks like a screen, freestanding screen. Well, at the bottom, it'll be at the bottom right.
I don't see it.
Yeah, because
me-
you've got to scroll down.
Okay, let me.
Is that a PowerPoint? What do you have a
Oh,
PowerPoint on?
Yeah.
It's a PDF.
Oh, yeah. So, gosh.
Each individual can
Individual
make
one is it? Yeah. Can you click on just the first one and see if that will go full screen? Click
Full
twice.
screen? Yes?
Yeah, if you want full screen, you usually need a PowerPoint.
Click on view. Click on
Yeah.
view at the top. Your menu view should give you an option at the very top
Yeah, the
menu,
view will give you an option of full screen. Yeah.
top left.
Yeah.
Well, we can see it the way it is.
Yeah.
So.
Huh.
Now, go to the teal bar, the menu at the top, preview,
Green
file, edit,
green
view.
one. Oops, get rid of that.
Am I in or out?
No, you got to get out of the Zoom invite.
Yeah. Minimize the zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Click on the yellow, the orange button. No, click on that and get rid of that. Yeah.
Okay.
There it goes.
So Do you
Oops.
actually see me?
Yes, we see you as a
It's your
spotlight on the
desktop.
side.
Why is it?
I think
Is
you
that
can
full-
just get it. Oh, there you are.
There
Okay.
you are. Now,
This full screen?
now click on view at the top left, preview file, edit view. There you go. Click on view.
View.
Yeah.
This?
A little bit higher, just higher on the, there, there.
Okay, I'm sorry, full screen, so
Full screen.
sorry. As I said, so actually, as long as I've
There
got
it
this,
goes.
this is actually, this is actually assemblage and of my latest show. And so, because I'm moving out where I'm combining collage with assemblage. Yeah, I'm so sorry I'm having all these problems. As I said, I just, it's kind of flustered me, so I really apologize. So yeah, I work with both assemblage and collage, but actually I want to, let me get out of this, exit full screen, and let me go back to, can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, because I think I wanted to start with this.
Okay.
So rather than go to assemblage. So when the pandemic happened, I just ran down to that studio that you just saw, and I threw a bunch of stuff in an IKEA bag, and I came and I started a book, and it was an empty book. It was a journal, and so I was just taking objects and putting them in, and basically I heard Gavin Newsom say, shelter at home, but actually he only said shelter at space, but I heard it wrong. So I just started, this was the only book I've ever done where I started on page, on the cover, and I worked all the way through for 2 months. And it's 148 collages. And so I have all these materials, and a lot of the materials, I just grab them and put them together for the formal elements. But actually, like in this case, the material I'm using, it said the city was besieged and surrounded by the enemy, and they consumed all the provisions. Well, this is when all the stores were empty. And so it became a diaristic book. And I worked on it for 2 months on my dining room table, thinking that the pandemic would be over. It was supposed to be over in 2 months. So as things got worse, people got more and more isolated. And I had all this material that was from other catastrophes that had happened. So these were unused ration cards from World War II. And also at this point, everybody was wearing sweatpants, nobody was getting dressed up. So I was working on half of my dining room table. And I worked on it for 2 months. And as I said, so then it got darker and darker because people became more and more distressed. And I found all this material, like never pay more than the legal price. Well, that's when people were, it's so hard to remember, but that's when people were buying up all the hand sanitizer and charging more for it. And also the stores didn't have toilet paper. And then I found this material, literally, where it said, believe it or not, this is Tunisian toilet paper. And so I would find this material that would really have a new meaning. And this is what the book looked like. It became really just a large object. And so at this point, it was still the pandemic, and people asked me, how can I see it? And I thought, yeah, how can you see it? So I decided to make a facsimile. And so on the right is the real book, and on the left is the facsimile. And so anyway, Shana, I asked her to write about it. She said it's a magnificent old soul. And she called it chemical work with memory made flesh. And so, I'm out again, huh? So then I wanted to show you this for a specific reason, which is this is the facsimile. And so on this one, you only see single pages. And whereas the one I showed you before, you could see the double pages. But I wanted to show you this because the pages are numbered. So this was the very first page I did, and it was March 18th, 2020. And so I didn't realize until last year, which is several years after I made this, that the first page was March 18th, 1896. So it was 124 years before. And so I constantly have surprises. So on this one, I can show you individual pages. And I thought this would be the most interesting to you because it's 148 collages. So basically in the beginning, it was look on the bright side. We didn't think it was going to last very long. And at this point, people were in isolation, so children had to play by themselves. And in this case, this is a World War I veteran overlooking the situation. That was another catastrophe. And so in the beginning, it was kind of optimistic. And then here again, I showed you where it was, the provisions. And I had a lot of material that was from somebody who had also given me, as I said, I'm an accidental archivist. And a friend had given me all this material that belonged to his parents. And his parents were Jews, were German Jews. And they went on a cruise in 1938. And they were wealthy, so they went around the world and they never went back to Germany. And so he had all these he had their birth certificates, their death, not their death certificates, but passports. He had all this material from his family. And he just gave me all these boxes to use. And so then I began to put it together. Since I was just working on my dining room table and I had material at random, I had a 1914 National Geographic, and it was about the Philippines. And so it was very interesting because in the beginning of that, all the Filipinos are in their native dress. And then by the end, they're wearing Western clothes. So it's a loss of identity. But also it was the beginning of World War I. So I have all these pages. So the other thing was I was supposed to go on a cruise with my husband. And of course we had to cancel it. And so it was crazy in this 1914 magazine, you could go around, you could go on a cruise around the world for, I think, $700, which was like amazing. So all this material was very diaristic. People, their businesses closed down. So, they had to go to insurance. And also I still had this idea that Gavin Newsom had said shelter at home. So I began, having this image of the house kept reappearing in my work. And so again, it's a house, it's a birdhouse. The house again, and also the Little Prince, because the Little Prince was alone on his island. So then this particular book the facsimile is actually on my website, and it's available on Blurb because it is 148 pages. I'm not going to go through them, but it's the same kind of thing. This was from that 1914 magazine, and I just wanted to show you a couple of things because as it went along, it became a diary of what was going on. So at this point, people were starting to not be able to have their hair done. They couldn't go to, they weren't, going out. And so I had these old magazines which had to do with women's hair. And so it's about clothes. So anyway, as it continued, it became, darker and darker. So people were, in this one, man was walking in the street with a melancholy air, and you have this long line. So that was pretty much what it was about. I did want to show you one more thing. And thank you for your patience, you all. I'm mortified that it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. Oh, so I'm going to close this one and go to, excuse me, go to, I want to share, new share. New share? No. Sorry about this.
You're sharing now. Whoops, not anymore.
Oh, I am. I am now?
No, not now.
Okay, so not now?
Right now, you're
Okay.
not sharing, no.
Oops. Okay. Hang on a second. I apologize profusely for this. Zoom, okay. I'm back on. Let me just see.
You're not sharing.
No,
Oh, okay.
okay, let me. But can you see me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
You.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go back to this. If I open this, it's going to take a second to open. Okay, can you see that?
No,
No,
you need
we
to click
need for
on
you to
share
share.
screen. You need to click on
Okay,
share
so-
screen first.
Okay. Share screen.
It's written in green.
Yeah.
It says share screen. If
bottom.
you click on that, that opens up your,
There you go.
Can you see that now?
Now you're screen sharing.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And all right. So then after I did that, I went to my neighbor across the way saw the book that I was working on, and she asked if I would like some postcards that she had from her own grandmother from 1905 to 1912. And of course I said yes. Now, generally in my practice, people will give me things, but I don't necessarily, I'm not able to use them right away. But in this case I was, and she gave me about 40 of these, and I made a series called the Seance series. And that's because I feel like one artist has called me a medium and another artist has called me a time traveler. And I think that that is basically correct in these, that I'm having conversations with people in the past. And so in terms of process, these are magazine rubbings and collage material. And some of it is more contemporary. And these are the postcards that she gave me from 1912 to 1905 to 1912. And also, these are, the reason I call myself an accidental archivist is because I accidentally dyed some wax paper when I was on vacation. And I came back and it was all beautifully dyed. And so starting in 2018, I've been dyeing material in my driveway. I've been using material that comes from the domestic sphere, like wax paper or parchment paper. And it takes a long time to dye it because it's meant to repel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm using I'm using materials from the kitchen and from the domestic sphere, which for me is a fraught area. So so this whole series called Seance, in a sense, communicating with the dead. And this is just a small piece. This was during the pandemic also. We were doing call and response with Christine Shoemaker. And so I was doing this kind of piece where I was adding three-dimensional elements. A lot of times I go back in terms of archaeology and I work over my own work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me see. What else I have for you? I wanted to, can you guys see this?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
That's
Yes.
new.
Oh, you can, okay. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So I went from working on half of my dining room table to being, to starting to do site-specific sculpture, which incorporated collage elements into it, but wasn't like a book of collages. And so my most recent work was 9 feet by 18 feet. It was called Incantation, and it was wax paper. It was the wax paper you saw in that in the video. It was just hanging from hangers in my video. In the video, it was hanging in my studio for maybe 5 years before I could figure out what to do with it. And so this body of work, in this body of work and in the installations I've done since then, I've been dealing with the concept of the underground, like the underground in sticks. So this one was, the Greek term, and it's the River of Lamentation. And so these are all, it's all wax paper that's been dyed and altered. And so again, it talks about that I submit materials to outdoor elements of time. And it's like a brew or a stew that I make, almost like a winemaker. And so the result of this process is a strikingly consistent patina of time running through the work, as if each material were a worn yet cherished object. And also in that video, you saw me touching pieces of paper that I said were saving remnants. And so 5 years later, or 6 years later, I was able to develop that particular body of work and make this large scale piece that was called The Secret Life of Shards, which was, you know, ink dyed paper, silver leaf, vintage photographs, jewelry, feathers, staples, dyed cardboard, diamond rust, pin tea bags, and, you know, make it into a wall installation that was, so this way you can see the surface and the texture. I'm still incorporating vintage photographs. I am dyeing fabric. I am using those pieces, and this is even another closer image of it, incorporating jewelry, marble dust, glitter, and the way it's been described here is like this particular piece is like the Big Bang, with objects in space expanding outward towards the unknown. The objects themselves are broken into parts of wholes, and other times I deconstruct one artwork to make a fodder for the next. And it was interesting because this person said the entire body of work is a living, breathing entity, and no matter how much it's broken down and reformed, it maintains a life of its own. So this is another installation. These are I'm going to talk about my installations, which all incorporate collage into them. So this piece was called Left the River of Forgetting. And I talked about it. My mother had Alzheimer's. And so, you know, I kind of honored her with this piece. And then these are 12 pieces that are mixed media collage on wood. And these pieces are, I don't know how close up, but this is the scrolls, the cut right wax paper that you have in your kitchen that I was dyeing over 4 or 5 years in my driveway, and vintage wallpaper. And I was creating these pieces which were like scrolls. I've been very interested in the scroll form, and for me it was interesting to do this because I realized I'm using all these objects from the domestic sphere. I'm using wallpaper, I'm using wax paper, I'm using parchment paper, I'm using vintage photographs that it was women who were the people who saved the photographs, who saved the letters. And the reason I find this interesting is, for me, when I was a girl, I never wanted to do the things that other girls, I didn't want to learn how to sew, how to cook, how to clean, how to iron. I didn't want to do anything in the domestic sphere because I thought it was limiting. So I think it's so interesting that I am doing these big pieces. Also, I was collecting, I started to collect these vintage shoe lasts, and I realized they're also dated and stamped with when that they were created. And again, it's that time travel. I'm always very interested in things that were touched by people. I feel like they still have energy. I also feel like my work isn't really about nostalgia, that for me, all of these people that I have their photographs in my studio, that their energy is still there. And I found a very interesting article, a quote from Einstein, where he said that he talked about the separation between past, present, and future. And he said it was an illusion, but a stubborn illusion. And I feel that in my work. And I talked about it in the video where I feel like I'm collapsing time. I don't feel like it's nostalgia, because nostalgia is wanting to go back. And I don't feel that way. I feel like these people are still with us. Anyway, let me see what else I can get here. So then this is, I'm hoping you can, when this will, takes a minute, I apologize for it but if not, I think if this doesn't load, then it's just too slow, I think. Oh, there it goes, wait. This is a book I'm working on, if I can get it to open. Not opening. Oh, it is opening? No, it's not opening. Okay, well, I think that's it. Can you guys see me and hear
Yes.
me? No. Oh, you can?
Yes,
okay.
we can see and hear you.
I'm sorry that this is not just clicking right on, but I think I'm going to have to cancel that. And let me see. I'm going to stop the share. And I'm so sorry for that technical glitches. It has never happened to me. And I've been practicing all week because I've been having some really wonky stuff going on. But so I hope that there are some questions. I'm sorry I got flustered.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we do have some questions. We also have a lot of comments. And I think you may want to take a look at the chat once it's posted up on the website, because I think you'll like some of the comments. But what I want to do now is go through the actual questions. The first one is, of course, the one that's always asked. And well, I won't get to that one yet. Do you only use original found images, as opposed to having a specific image in mind and then looking for it online?
As I said in the video, I'm an accidental archivist. People give me materials, so I use all original materials. I have materials from 1835 onward. In the book, there were a few Xeroxes in the, and I want to say, so I have it right here, in the, I got them in the Quarantine Opus book. There was some I had Xeroxes of my own material from another book I made that was called Rubbing Her the Wrong Way, which was the first book I made in 1982. Generally, a book takes me years because I only work on it a little bit at a time. So that was kind of amazing. So yeah, I never use anything online. It's all original. I have hand notes that people made in 1896 to their daughters. I have somebody's discharge paper from the Civil War. So what I have is I have all this material, and I let the material lead me. So I never start with an idea. A lot of times there's a store in Pasadena. I know you people watching this are from all over. There's a store in Pasadena called Remainders, and it's like an artist thrift store. And I'll just pick up material, and that's how I got the wallpaper that was in that installation. I got rolls and rolls of vintage wallpaper long before I had any idea of how I would use it. And so the material leads me. And so the good news is the material leads me, but the bad news is when I use up the material, that's the end of the series. So anyway.
Okay, then there are a couple of the usual technical questions about
what else?
Adhesives. Do you use a variety of adhesives?
How do you organize, categorize your materials, or truly random? It is truly random. I don't organize it. I don't have a box that says letters from the 19th century. I got that series of boxes from the actor whose neighbor had died, and he asked me if I wanted tintypes. I got boxes and boxes and boxes. I got so many boxes of stuff I couldn't look through it. So I just went to the 19th century area. Some of those little envelopes I was showing in the video, they're from the Civil War. So, and they're very hard to read, but it'll be somewhere in Virginia because they weren't allowed to say where they were. So I am just really lucky that people give me that stuff. And also it is accidental. I will somehow, I'll just have, I like, the one thing that's not accidental is I usually like to work in series. I don't like to work in one-offs. So I will control it. Like, for example, this is the actual, book that you can buy off of, Blurb. But I had a book that looked like this. It was blank. It was just a journal. I collect journals. So I know that the book is going to be that size and have that many pages in it. So certain things are predetermined. I did not make the Opus book substrate. I got it. It was just a book lying around in my studio.
How do you attach rocks?
What was that?
How do you attach rocks? I noticed one of your pieces had rocks. What?
Well, I am somebody who is not, I don't use tools. I'm not technological. And I mean, I just have a lot of different kind of glues. And I'm just like a paper and glue person. And occasionally carpet tacks. I'm a big fan of carpet tacks. And a lot of my work is on wood panels. So I would encourage people, I'm going to put my my website in the chat, and then people can go, because oh yeah. So they can have a longer look at, yeah. Let me make sure I'm spelling that right. Yeah. So they can have a longer look at the materials at their leisure. The Quarantine Opus book is on Blurb, but the preview is, you can look through the preview and see the whole book. I'm fine with that.
Can I butt in with a couple of questions? Is that
the person who said about Hana Hawks?
That's me.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Where's Jennifer? Oh, so
Right.
I'm going to have to look up that. I don't know about that. That's really, of course, Hana Hawk, his work is fabulous. But actually, how do I dye it? I mean, I'm a very unscientific person. And so I have a whole roll, and I open some of it, and I put some ink in it, and I put some other stuff in, and I put a brick in it, and I look at it, and every couple of days or every couple of months, I roll it out some more, and I can never repeat it. The first work that happened was I went on vacation, and I left some work out because I was giving my studio to my son, and it was dyed with rainwater. Accidentally, it was dyed with rainwater and some books that were covered there. And it became that purple that was in the River of Forgetting that was in Wanzheimer. So, and I tried to duplicate it. I can never duplicate. So I'm very scientific.
Repeatable, yeah. I was wondering, I mean, because the long-term dyeing would also sort of dissolve the wax element, and wouldn't it make the paper less stable or more prone to tearing? It certainly looked like it was a different texture, and I expected batik because it almost looked like you were crumpling it up and dyeing it as well, making seams in the paper.
Well, it does. I mean, as I was dyeing it, sometimes it would tear, and then I would keep that, and I would keep the little sections. And that's why the archaeology of the soul pieces were all documents, and all the torn pieces. And the way it was affixed, because that piece was originally the archaeology of the soul, they were all on printmaking paper that was 30 by 20. And it was shown in Yavapai, and it's on my website. But and it wasn't framed at first. And so people all thought the printmakers all thought I was a printmaker. So there are so many layers, and you can't really tell which layer went where on some of the work, on that whole body of work. So they thought it was prints. But a lot of times the work is, as you were saying, very wrinkled. Sometimes I iron it. And sometimes it's taped together. I mean, it's a very do it yourself. It's all about imperfection and things that are weathered, and they're torn, and they're I find beauty in that, and a lot of people do too. So I'm a big fan of. I used to pick stuff up from the floor. If you're a collage person, it's like. But no, nothing is organized. Whoever asked the organized question, I'm a Pisces. I'm not a Virgo. I wish I were, but I'm not.
There was one specific question about clear Gorilla Glue or two-part epoxy.
I didn't see that. What was that?
Clear Gorilla Glue or two-part epoxy?
Neither. I think I have nori paste. I have oh gosh, I have stuff I got from a Brooklyn. There are a lot of different white glues. Some are pH. They're really good. I mean, I've just used. Occasionally, I use that kind of almost clear E6000, but it smells so bad. So I. Also, on that big giant installations, I stapled things. I got colored staples. I found out you could get colored staples. So I have rose gold, there's black, there's, all these fabulous things. And I stapled them because then I could move it around. I could just take the staple out, and if it tore, it tore. It's part of my aesthetic. So, I'm the kind of person who knocks into walls and, tears my clothes. So my work is a further expression of my personality.
I have a question.
I'm really glad that you liked the book, and
yes? You do have published books.
Oh, hello?
You apparently you do have published books.
Well, the Quarantine Opus book is on Blurb, and it's on my website. But also, I was going to tell you guys, I don't know, do you people know about Photo Trouvé? If you do not, so Photo Trouvé it's a collage magazine, and you can apply to be in it. And so, in issue 10, I don't know if you can see this. So in issue 10, they had 4 of my works in it. And so this piece is from the Archaeology of the Soul series. And what I do is sometimes I'll even have something that's framed and take it apart. So although this might have been started in 2020, I reworked it in 2023. So I don't know if the person was. So this is a magazine that you guys should know if you don't know it, because you, as collage artists, you can apply to it. And it's by Twiggy Boyer is the editor. So yeah. So there you have it. I'm so sorry for my glitches. It kind of threw me off my game, but anyway.
Instructive. Thank you.
One last question here. On your
Sure.
website, there are images of people looking at your work with 3D glasses. What was that in relation to?
Oh, okay. So when I retired in 2015, and when I retired, you know, for a year, I just kind of took various monoprinting classes or whatever. And then I decided it would be really great to work with other artist friends. So I'm friends with Margaret Lazari, is a wonderful artist. Anyway, I reached out to all these artists and we started, I thought maybe we could form a collective. And my son had spent his junior year in India and I'd gotten interested in some of that. But anyway, there's something called Karkana, where it's not exquisite corpse, because exquisite corpse, people don't see what the other people are doing. The Karkana were these Pakistani artists, some who were in Pakistan and some who were in diaspora. And what they did is one person started, you know, they did a collage or whatever, and then they wrote on the back what they did and they mailed it to the next person. So 8 people worked on the same piece, but then they were all the first person on another series. So I started the Hana Kark collective, and there were 8 of us. Some people were in different states. We were men, we were women, we were different ages. Some of them had been my former students. Some of them were colleagues. I used to teach at Glendale College, and we did this thing. We had I set up a whole series, and we sent them in the mail. One got lost, but then we had a show at a Shoebox Gallery. If you're not in Los Angeles, it's a small gallery. Christine Shoemaker runs it. And then we had a big show, which is what you're talking about. And that was at Glendale College. And that show it's on my website. That show was only up for 4 days and it was huge. And so one of the people had done, and he's in Canada, we had a series that we called facial recognition. We all took self-portraits, however we wanted to do them, and we sent it to all 8 people. And then everybody did their own version, playing around with your image. It's a little bit like, I don't know if you know Cut Me Up magazine.
Mm-hmm.
That's another magazine you should know in case you don't know. And literally, so we did something called facial recognition, and that was part of that show. And one of the artists had done something with 3D, and so he sent 3D glasses. So that's a long, shaggy way of telling you what that was about. But yeah, that's why. So that was part of the collective. And that is, I believe those pictures are also on my website.
Well, thank you so much. What I want to encourage everybody to do is, when the chat is up on the website, take a look at it. There's a lot of wonderful information on the chat that people have been typing in. And thank you so much. Nancy, this was wonderful. And don't worry about the glitches. Glitches happen.
Yeah, not to me, because I practiced. So that's why I was totally, it was what I feared would happen, but this time it actually happened. So you're very kind, and I thank you so much, everybody. I really do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was very exciting and so enlightening and so encouraging to so many of us who have a lot of junk in our.
You have no idea. You have no idea. Thank you so much.
I saw your piles of things, and I do have a slight idea about your studio.
Right? And I think I think I might have cleaned up for them. That's the thing. So anyway.
Yeah, the video was quite nice. I felt that really gave us an overview that was very interesting and very enlightening as well. So wonderful presentation. No apologies necessary. We all have our goof ups and things that happen, and I believe that you really had it all in order, and sometimes our computers betray us.
Somebody just said, can you find the video on YouTube? You can find it. You
The
can
link
find
to the
video.
YouTube video, which video are you talking about? This meeting?
Oh, somebody said, can we
No, I-
find the video on YouTube? That there's a group here called LA Art Documents, and they go around, they document the LA art scene. And so if you go to their thing, their YouTube, LA Art Documents, or even if you go to my website, I have it on my website. I'm pretty much, I have it on the landing page. But even if you Google Nancy K. Turner, and it'll come up, And somebody said, what's the name of the Pakistani artist mail along Karkhana? Let me see if I can. So
Can you spell it?
yeah, well, let me see if I remember how to spell it correctly. Karkhana, I believe that's it. And so when we became a collective, we didn't want to appropriate, since we're not South Asians ourselves, and it's a South Asian thing, we became Hana Kark instead of Karkhana. Oh, I do want to say anything. If anybody's still teaching, it was really fabulous, because I got the book, the Karkhana book, and it showed every single layer. And if you're a teacher teaching collage, we only see the last layer. But with this book, you can see each layer and how each artist put their personality on it, and you could see how the whole image develops. So I thought that was absolutely fabulous. And yeah. So anyway, I work part to whole. So I have a lot of parts laying around my studio, and eventually they coalesce into a piece, or they don't, But anyway, are there any other questions? Thank you for your comments.
You'll enjoy some of the comments of people praising you and complimenting all of your the things that you were saying and doing.
Thank you.
But
I appreciate it.
We are so happy to have had you with us. So thanks again a million times.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we will now continue with our meeting.
Okay.
And but stay with us if you wish. And I hope that I'm sure where everyone is going to follow up with all of the information you've given us.
Okay, sounds great.
Now, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
I'd like to call on Suzanne, and before that, I want to ask for let's see, shall we do the members, introduce the members first? Let's do that first, and then I'll ask for any announcements from any of you that you might want to make, shows that you're in, or comments or questions for the board, any announcements. So right now, Suzanne, do you want to introduce any of the new members that are here?
The only new member that I see is Marianne Riker. She's not showing her face, and I do not know if you would like to come on, Marianne, and say a couple of words and maybe show us one of your pieces.
Quiet, all quiet.
No response.
She's coming. I think.
You have to unmute yourself, Marianne, if you're here. Okay.
Also, we have Ellen Rundle, who is she's a friend, and she just joined, and I think she does want to come on and share one of her works. She had written to me.
In view of the fact that it is 12:25, and you also have announcements to make in your meeting, would you mind if I introduced myself at the next meeting?
Well, we have time for you.
Yes, we've got time.
Okay. Well, I'm a little bit tired, but I'll go ahead.
Words.
So I'm from Los Angeles. My professional background is graphic design. Should I put myself full screen, or does the
Yeah.
host do
You
that?
We
can
can do
see
that
it.
we can do that
You can
anyway.
share.
Yeah.
So my background is graphic design and art direction. And I think all the skills that, I learned during my professional career have been, transferred into my fine art. I started working as a ceramic artist when I was 15. So I've been doing ceramic art for over 55 years. At one point, when I was at UC Berkeley, I did a lot of painting and printmaking. And I've taken a collage class by Lois Ramirez at the Betsy Lukey Center. And whenever I attempt at doing anything 2D, it always ends up coming, into some kind of 3D. I always end up putting objects on there, and it's just hard for me to keep something flat. So a lot of mixed media pieces I've built, and I also love to do assemblage. Just like Nancy was saying, I just have a penchant for things, objects. I collect things. I go into thrift shops, things that call to me. I collect them. I have things organized in boxes and numbers. I put things out on trays and photograph them and then box them so that they're all cataloged. And also a lot of the ceramics that I build, I mean, obviously I started as a potter, and I love just sitting down at the wheel and throwing bowls, but I do these things that I call story boxes. And I'm going to try share screen, but after what Nancy went through, I'm a little bit concerned. So this is an example of
Perfect.
This is an example of a piece of ceramic art that this is all clay, but it's kind of an assemblage, because each piece of meat, if you will, is made out of a separate type of clay. There's porcelain and, red clays and white clays and things like that. So, I wanted to start to get ceramics up on the wall instead of just utilitarian pieces. Another thing I wanted to share in terms of my mixed media, this is a piece that is very personal to me, because over 30 years ago, I joined a 12-step program, and I've been trying to work out the 12 steps in mixed media. It's something that I start and stop, I rework. The 12 steps are something that we live every day, and so it's never going to be finished, probably. This piece I did just finish, and I'm going to be putting this in a call that's coming up. But you can see a lot of these little pieces down at the bottom I actually made out of clay. So I just love doing this kind of work. I love this as much as I like doing the clay work. And it's easier on my body because I have a problem with the fingernails. They're always breaking really badly. They're like paper thin. So sometimes I have to step away from the clay to let my hands heal. Now, with the upcoming show that we have in our group, I wish I could, for online shows, I sometimes think that tall pieces are not a good idea. What's the name again? Interlinking, interplay, right?
Interplay.
This is an assemblage piece that I made. It's kind of got a steampunk feel to it. This sea animal at the bottom, of course, was made, and the throne base was made out of clay, as was the Nautilus, and this top thing. But these other things are all just pieces that I found at a thrift shop and glued them all together to make this tower. And I think this would be, you know, a good piece that would represent the title of the show, because by themselves, none of these things would really mean anything. But I don't think that something this tall would work well on a, you know, on a online show.
It would
So
be fine. It would be fine.
Fine, yeah.
Also, I don't know if everybody noticed one of the chat shares from Penny Fine. Nancy is our juror, so
Mhm.
this may be a heads up for her, so I wouldn't show any more of your pieces.
Yeah. Don't
Oh,
show.
all right,
Uh,
sorry.
We
Well,
just had a-
anyway, you know, another thing that's not clear to me, I just want to throw out there, because I am kind of new to joining organizations. I've been kind of working in a vacuum out here in the San Fernando Valley. It's not clear if you can submit detail shots a lot of times on these calls.
I'll answer that. If they're 3D, like the other one, the tall one, if you want to, online juried shows, which we use, allows you to put two other images on a 3D piece, on an assemblage like that. So you do, the juror can opt to see the other sides and the other ones if they wish. So yes,
Okay.
you can enter, and you enter the original, you know, the big shot and then two additional shots usually.
Okay, thank you. Now, how do I get out of share mode?
I
Thank
can unshare you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
But
So,
Ellen, thank
you
that
know,
was-
That was great, Ellen.
Thank
you
you.
so much, and we're really happy to have you with us. I
Yeah.
just want to make a comment in general that Patrice and I have been blown away really by the incredible quality of the artists that have been joining us. The competition, ladies, is fierce.
Yeah.
We really have some talented artists in this group.
Yes, and it's been very exciting for those of us who have been around in this organization for a long time. It's very inspiring to have all these wonderful new members and all their beautiful work. You can can we go back to the full screen of everybody?
We should. The spotlight's gone. So
Yeah, just go to
um,
view and
if
click
those
on
of you go
gallery.
to view
Yeah.
and choose gallery view, you'll
Yeah.
see everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That was a really nice to hear about
It
you.
was. And is there anyone else that I don't see or that Patrice and I might have missed that would like to share also? New members? Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, Suzanne, and thanks for that. And let's, how about anybody else? You know, we have a lot of members that are rather new or that we haven't heard from. And if you'd like to introduce yourself or have any announcements, did you make anything you want to brag about or
Anybody?
questions? Please speak up now, unmute yourself or raise your hand and we can call on you.
Yes.
S.P. Harper, unmute yourself. Thank you. Okay. Where did she
Yay!
go?
Hello, everybody. I just posted. It's a really fun show. It's huge. It's at the Los Angeles Municipal Art Gallery, LA Mag, they call it. It's on Hollywood Boulevard and it's on Barnesdale Park. And it's a beautiful place just to go walk around, gorgeous. And for the Frank Lloyd Wright House has been newly restored. called the Hollyhock House. That's also you can tour, but it's a really beautiful, huge gallery, and it's a gigantic show with many, many artists. It was an open call, and it's called Apophenia, which means many, many different elements. And I do have one piece, 3D piece of a gem using recycled materials, upcycling Mardi Gras beads. And here is what the show announcement looks like. And it's up until March, but it's a real fun show. You guys, if you're in town, or if you live in LA or the Valley or the West Side, or, you know, anywhere in Southern California, you should make the trip.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That gallery is amazing, and their shows are always really exciting. So I encourage you to go if you're in the area.
If you'd like to send a picture of your piece to me for the newsletter, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Anyone else? Thanks.
Yeah, Carol and I have an opening coming up, I guess February 4th, Saturday, at the Makery in Los Angeles. And we each have 3 pieces in a show called Love and Lust. I guess the opening is 2 to 5. 2 to 5 on February 4th, and I can post the address up on the chat. I don't think anybody else I see in the list is also in that show.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Barbara. That sounds like fun. Claire Standish has something. Unmute.
Yes, hi there. I just want to speak out about a speaker who we had a couple years ago. I think it was in 2021, Billy Renkel, who you all probably remember. He did a great talk, and he is the illustrator for a book that his sister wrote. Margaret Renkel writes for the New York Times opinion column. Anyway, she had a book come out in December, I think it was. It's called The Comfort of Crows. Oh, boy. And it's a backyard year, and it's 52 chapters designed to be read 1 chapter a week. And the thing that's wonderful about it is that Billy's collages illustrate each chapter. So there's 52 of his collages in this book. Wow. It is wonderful. It is wonderful. It is so good. It is so good. So, highly recommended.
I love prose.
I'm reading it too. It's wonderful.
Isn't it terrific, Dawn? It's just so good. It's so good. She's just such a great writer, and it's terrific to see Billy's collage work front and center like this.
Thank you. Thanks, Claire. Anybody else? Would anybody else? Let me check.
I have just a little announcement. I'm in a show. It's a virtual show through San Fernando Valley Arts and Cultural Center called Passion. So I got a couple of pieces accepted in that.
And Barbara did too.
And Carol.
Yeah, Barbara.
And so did Carol.
Barbara and Carol. You guys are in so many shows.
I think with the February theme seems to be love in one form or another, between a passion show and a love and lust show.
Oh, yeah. Also, I have, I'm in 2 new shows, LAAA Gallery 825. One is a virtual show that is just posting now called Small Time. And the other is Whereabouts, which will be an on-site show, and that doesn't open until February 24th.
Busy girl. Anybody else?
Yes, Toby.
Toby.
Hi. Okay, so thank you for reminding me, Barbara. I have a small piece in the LAAA show. And I also have 2 pieces in their show. What is the next one, Barbara?
Whereabouts.
Right, I'm in Whereabouts also.
Great. See you at the opening.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anything else that you wanted? Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
The name of the book with the collages?
Yeah, put it in the chat. I didn't get that. I want to know what it is too.
I just put it in, I just put it in the chat.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Just
you.
put it in the chat. The Comfort of Crows by Margaret
Okay.
Rankle.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
It was the gift I bought for about 10 people this year for Christmas. So it's a great book.
Margaret Wrinkle. Anybody else? Any questions for us, for the board, or?
Waylon, there's a question for you. Is there a way to list open calls in the newsletter that we become aware of? That's Karen.
Yes, if there is, are any open calls that you know of, send them to me at my email address, and I list them in the opportunities section. But the thing about it that's really tricky is that I publish on the 10th of the month. So the deadline for entry needs to be maybe a good 2 weeks after that. Otherwise, the call for entry kind of doesn't help very much. And so if you're able to get it to me about a show that you know of, like way in advance, that would be great. I always have that issue, but I do have an opportunities section.
I just put in the chat the website for call for entry, which lists mega shows all over the country.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And we can probably list our show in there too.
Yeah,
yeah.
we do that at pretty much in
for
page
open ones,
one
yeah,
or two, I should say.
Yeah,
that's a big.
Do you know that one, Quaylin? Are you familiar with call?
I have heard of it. Yes.
Isn't that
And
Cafe?
I tend to.
It's Cafe.
It's Cafe.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
very,
Oh,
very
that,
good.
Is that the same
Yeah.
one? Yes, I sure do.
Oh,
I
is
get
that Cafe?
emails
Oh.
from them all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, then we know about that one.
Oh, yeah, no, they have a lot.
But it's sometimes hard to find the cafe sites, so the callforentry.org is the easiest way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just look on the emails and then
I get it
I have
automatically.
Yeah.
Email.
Yeah,
yes.
their problem is sometimes their show call for it, ends like on the 8th of the month, and then it's too late, so I don't list everything. But that happens sometimes.
Anybody else have anything else, or do you want to share, or chat, or ask another member a question, or say hello to each other?
I wish Nancy Turner hadn't left. I had like 2 questions for her and they never got asked. Frustrating though, but she left quick.
I'm sure if you contacted her via her email, she'd be glad to answer it.
I think so.
It was a terrific presentation.
It was really
Wasn't
good.
it? Well, it really was
Very inspirational.
Thank you, Penny.
Yes, great job, Penny.
Yeah.
I want to say hi, just a hello to Toby Pepper. I haven't seen her for a while, so.
Yeah.
Hi, Toby.
There's a couple of people I feel that I don't recognize and who they are. Let's see. But yes, I guess you've been here before. Karen Ard and Sharon Held. You have anything to say about yourselves that would help us?
I joined, hi everyone.
Hi.
I joined back in December and I am transitioning from a different world into the art world. Is right now I'm kind of semi-retired and moved my house. I was living in Manhattan and I'm currently living in Sag Harbor and setting up my studio. And I think in my blood, I've always collected little things and put them in journals and everything. And I had this idea is I'm getting older, like how wonderful, and what do you do with this stuff? So I'm starting to just make collages out of all the bits and pieces of paper and cards and everything that I've stored away. over the years and kind of repurposing and doing projects with it. So I'm very early, but I do hope to do some, have some submissions when they're ready to go. I'm excited to be part of the group and be inspired by everyone. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. I'm relatively a new member too. So in December, we did this. So this is is this your first meeting or?
My second.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm glad you spoke up. It's because it's nice to know you.
Thank you.
Karen, do you want to say something? Karen Ard? Yeah.
Hi, everyone. This is my third or fourth meeting, maybe third. I just kind of sit quietly and listen. I'm from LA. I'm a Valley girl too, for all you Valley girls out there. My career is in photography. COVID closed my business because it was event photography mostly. But it's opened time up for me to come back to the other arts I loved, and collage is one of those. But I'm still making my way through the process, so I'm mostly learning and playing right now. But I'd love to start doing shows, so.
Good.
You guys are very inspiring.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thanks, Karen, for
I also want to say hi to Helen Hasenfeld. I am so happy to see you.
Yeah.
She got all screwed up in our wild apricot site. And she didn't even know she was screwed up because she hadn't come to meetings. Anyway, she and I have shared the same chiropractor in the past.
Suzanne, it's good to see you. And I'm gonna, we gotta get together.
I know. It's so I'm so happy that you came.
It was a terrific, it was really wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's good to be back again.
Good. I'm glad you are.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Helen.
Nice to see you, Helen.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to say anything and that I missed, or that, let's see. I'm looking through all the little pictures. There was one other person I was going to call in, but she left. Well, I think we covered everybody. Unless, so we could call the meeting off. We could stay on and for a while and chit chat. But I think we'll officially call the meeting end.
Okay, I'll stop recording.